girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is July the 6th, 2021, and today the topic is mocking God. Yesterday was a pretty chill day overall for me. I did get some news, it's I guess going to change how things look in the next week or so, because no more summer camp. No more summer camp. Hopefully we'll be doing like a little overview of what all we've done and things like that, or like some type of showcase or something like that. But other than that, in regards to that, going daily or whatever, that part has been canceled. Which, it was good while it lasted. I enjoyed it while it lasted. I think, NJ enjoyed it. And I know we're still invited to come and hang out with them or something like that. But, hey, we'll see what the Lord do, I'm not saying I'm not going to go. I'm not saying whatever. But basically, the summer camp portion is no longer. And I understand, again, because it was a small situation. However, so it looks like things have cleared back up on my schedule. But again, y'all, like I said, I'm still what to do. I told y'all my general plan, things I want to try to get done. I'm thanking and praising God for, again, the seeds that I've already sown in regards to, these projects that I did complete. Because again, I'm getting into one of those places where it's like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just, I'm trusting God that, what will be, or what is meant to be will be, and everything like that. I know, again, that there's been some seeds sown, and, hopefully they will flourish in due time. That's all I can say, or whatever at this moment. It's just so interesting, like how it wasn't long ago, but before the summer camp situation started. It was just, a few weeks ago, right? Or, I don't know, at least, maybe a month that I was doing it. And it's not that I've forgotten what it was like before that month, but something like that. It has been something like that to be like, man, okay, now we're going back to the way it was before. But how was before? And, so, let alone trying to go back to post-COVID days. Pre-COVID days. That's a whole other thing. I already told y'all. I'm already trying to figure that out mentally. I see that I forgot to share with you guys, even though y'all see me in the green room. So usually when I'm in the green room, that means I did audition. And actually, I wanted to shout it out yesterday because it was interesting. Okay, basically what had happened was I got an audition request on Sunday, which y'all know was 4th of July. And when I saw it, I just, in my mind, I was like, maybe I'll turn it in tomorrow. Maybe I'll even look at it tomorrow. But for whatever reason, I went ahead and read over the script and looked at the scene and everything like that. And for whatever reason, felt led to go ahead and knock it out that same day. It required me to do it a little bit differently, and I had to kind of humble myself from doing it my normal way, and including someone in on the process. But that's a whole other thing, y'all. I ain't got to sit here and explain all of that to y'all. Y'all here to hear the juice, not about my acting career. But I'm bringing it up to you guys because, one, I feel like y'all must have been praying, because you know how I was feeling about auditions and all this stuff before, and the fact that, I felt led to go ahead and knock it out in the same day, and all this stuff was like, that's huge. That's pretty huge. So we'll see. We'll see what the Lord do. My apologies. I took my sip of water before, but I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all that in a minute. Hold on. Let me finish telling y'all this right here. So I did my did the audition, sent it in. I got my feedback yesterday in regards to the agent saying it was a good job. And so we'll see. Again, we'll see what the Lord do. It seems like it might be a nice opportunity. But regardless, I know God's in control. Some people are X, Y, and Z. So fast forward to this morning. I woke up. Well, technically on time. I woke up when my alarm went off. But this morning was one of those mornings where I was like, people that watch me live, or when they watch me, they're gonna see my face and whatnot. But yeah, I was in one of those moods, like, man, I don't know, man. Not that I was gonna get up, but it took me a minute, basically. But I got up, and I said to myself in my mind, I was like, maybe I'll go on and do these warm-ups, finally get back to doing that part. But I was like, soon as I got up, I wasn't feeling icky, but then I started to kind of feel icky, so I just was like, here we go. So I did not do that portion, but I did my prayer and meditation. Cool. So I did that. The interesting thing is, during it, or maybe even slightly before it, that's when I started to kind of get the word mockery in my mind, the word mockery, and which led to obviously the topic of today, mocking God. Yeah. So anyway, speaking of, I looked up the word mocking, right? And so the definition says making fun of someone or something in a cruel way, derisive. So then I looked up the definition of derisive, and it says expressing contempt, ridicule. So then I looked up the word contempt, and it says the feeling that a person or thing is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn. Now, I don't know what y'all think about those definitions or whatever, but I think that it clearly describes many of us. Just to be honest. This is something we do to each other, right? And those of you that know, and I guess have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, then we know that, people are doing that to God as well. And so all those things. And I know I did a juice previously. I think I called it like, God is not mocked, but you might be, or something like that. So it made me think about that. But when I started to look up verses, they seemed to be a totally different set of verses that I was coming across, and everything. So I just was like, all right, Lord, let's go. Let's do it. Now, the interesting thing is the first verse I came across was along those lines. It says Galatians 6 and 7. It says, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that will he also reap. Y'all, I'm telling you. We talk about this all the time, especially on the juice. Y'all, this ain't nothing new to anybody that's been listening to me consistently. This whole sowing and reaping concept, or what's the other thing we always compare it to? Sowing and reaping, or cause and effect, or all those things. It's like these things are in play, right? These are the rules to the game. And now, whether you want to play by those rules or not, the rules still apply. Alright, Lord, we'll break it down for us today. I'm telling you, y'all. I'm telling you, man. Anywho, so with that being said, God is not much, y'all. Whatever one sows, that will he also reap. So, I guess that's that thing, right? Be careful what you're sowing, right? That's what I'm hearing here. To be careful what we sow, because that's what we're going to reap. And maybe that was, I don't know, God just giving me perspective on what I just shared with you guys. That, I just shared with you all about, some things I've personally sowed, and how I'm, I guess because of what I've sowed, I'm expecting some type of harvest, type of something to flourish from the things that I've sowed, or whatever the case is. But yeah, this is the be careful what you're sowing out here, y'all. Especially in regards to the kingdom God and everything like that. Be careful. Let me see. So then Matthew 5:11, it says, "Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account." Well, I guess that's some encouragement for us, right? For believers and everything like that. Because again, I know we can look all around us and feel like, man, evil is winning. Lord, where are you? Or, Lord, do you not see what's going on? What's happening to your people? What's happening to believers? How truth tellers are being silenced? All these things, right? And then not only are they, silencing individuals and all kinds of things like that, but then it's like being brazen. I think I talked about that before too. Just being brazen about like all of it, right? And just being real bold and real like, and this is what it is, some straight up, I hate to be, country with it today, but I mean, keeping it real, some straight up and be like, we're worshiping Satan, or we are team Satan, or we are team evil. Let's put it at that. Because we know at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's good versus evil. It's God versus Satan. It's however you want to look at it, but basically it boils down to good versus evil. And that's what sides we are being put on. It's not all the rest of this stuff that is being spewed, all the rest of this stuff that is being spouted and shared and being used to manipulate the minds of many. It's not any of that other stuff. It all boils down to good and evil at the end of the day. And I mean, this is why, I know, Lord help me, Jesus help me. Man, why am I hesitant to say? Because, I guess, again, it's touchy when you talk about race, right? It's touchy when you talk about, because I get it. I totally get it, right? I know the history, you know what I'm saying, of what has been done and everything like that. So it's not making light of any of that. I definitely wouldn't want to make light of it. I definitely take it seriously as anybody else does. But at the end of the day as well, I have to acknowledge, my own life and my own experience. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, perhaps it's just the blessing of being born in this season. The blessing and curse, because, there's so many, there's a certain amount of freedom and whatnot that I have, that my ancestors did not have. And things like that. And that's just one example. But at the end of the day, all groups are capable of all kinds of evils, as we can see. And, you can see that all around us. We see it all around us. And it's like, what are we going to allow to get us off of the will of God? That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Are you going to allow the seeds that were sown in evil, by evil, to block your access to the gift that God has given to everybody? I don't know what you're going to choose, friends, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, yeah, good and evil is every single human is capable, me included. I'm sure I've done plenty of things that are evil in God's eyes, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. It's not about what I feel. It's not about what I thought was right or whatever case is. It's about what is good and evil in God's eyes, not just ours, because a lot of times we don't when we do stuff, right? And let's just take a little analysis of ourselves, right? I'm not even pointing no finger at nobody at this point. I'm looking at me in the mirror and being like, hey, when I personally have done stuff, did I not try to justify it in my mind in those moments and be like, well, Lord, it can't be as this bad because it's not hurting nobody else. This is just me, or this is just whatever, or this ain't, you know what I mean? And then trying to justify it and make it look good and paint it up and make it look real nice in this real nice package, when at the end of the day, it's still evil in God's eyes. I can look at myself and make that that analysis about my own life. So, I mean, I know everybody can do that. Speaking of, hold on, let me just tell y'all the word, because y'all probably think I'm playing around with y'all. So here, check this out. Where is it? Here you go. Oh, yep, there it is. So, Psalm 14:1. It says, to the choir master of David, the fool says in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They do abominable deeds. There is none who does good. You know, a lot of times, again, we think in our mind that we're doing good. We think in our mind that doing what we want to do, or whatever the case is good, right? Because it feels good to us. But at the end of the day, the question is it good to God? And I guess if you're not acknowledging God, right? If you're not acknowledging, and you're mocking, because I guess, you know, that's a form of mockery too, if you really think about it. If you're not acknowledging Him, obviously then you're feeling as if, and this is going to contempt, then you're feeling that the person or thing is beneath consideration. So you're not even considering God, right? You feel like He's worthless because you're not acknowledging Him. And then what, deserving scorn? Now that's a whole nother level. But I mean, hey, you know, and it goes back to contempt, and goes back to ridicule and all those other words. But like I said, I mean, we just gotta be careful. You know, we gotta be careful with the choices that we make and what we choose to side with and whatnot. I mean, yeah, I think at the end of the day, we should, seek God and ask. If we're confused about what good and evil is, like, what is good and what is evil. And it's easy. It's easy to be confused in these days and times, because, I mean, it's literally, in my humble opinion, as I look around, it is literally how the Bible says. Good is said is evil. Evil is said to be good. This stuff is operating right now, daily, in real time. So whether y'all believe it or not, that's what I see. Now, that's just me making one observation. I mean, I know there's other people that made this observation too. But you can clearly see. But those of you that have eyes and ears to see and hear, then you can clearly see. You would think that all of us could clearly see, at least with what we have access to. But I guess the other part of the Bible is very accurate as well, when it says that there's just certain people that has the scales over their eyes and perhaps something in their ears that is blocking them from seeing and hearing truth. And I pray for those that if that's you, and if I don't know if I'm going to be the first thing you hear this from or something like that, but I'm definitely praying for the people that are caught up in that, because it's I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying that, in this fight of good and evil, I mean, it behooves us to be on team good. And that's all I can really say about that. I mean, but hey, there's plenty in the Go Deeper section. Plenty of verses to, let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. Also, that verse that I started to share there, Psalm 14, I actually have Psalm 14, 1 through 4. Ooh, I'll read that in its entirety because it had me thinking about some stuff. But yeah, man, take a look at the verses in the Go Deeper section and, let them marinate and see what the Lord, tells you about all of this. However, that's what He gave me this morning, and hey, I guess that's the juice. The Bible verse of today is Psalm 119:11. It says, "Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. Well, you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Solo, a life story told through love and relationships. Find out more at cbiztvonline.com. That's CBIZTVonline.com.